Hello everyone and welcome to my newest drawing tutorial. Today's video is about the popular 3 marker challenge, of which I first heard about from Happy the Artist. Please check out her channel as well. In this challenge you choose 3 markers to paint or draw your subject as best as you can, and of course it's pretty difficult because you don't have your full pencil case or your full watercolor palette at hand, and you have to think about contrast, lighting, color value and hue. And I will talk about those topics in my video, in the case you just don't know what they are meaning. And maybe if you are a new artist and you're just starting out to learn what it is, this video is a rough overview about these topics and hopefully it will help you. But first of all, I will show you which markers and color pencil I used. So the first one is a white luminance color pencil, then a touch marker and some random blue color pencil from Faber Castell, I think. First of all, I make some color studies to see how those colors behave, because I usually don't paint with markers and I have to see if the colors I choose really match and do the things I want. So, and first of all, I'm starting with my drawing as usual, and I also wanted to talk with you about how to draw properly. Just a rough overview. I will go more in detail in future videos. This is just me looking for interesting video topics for you and just things that you might like to see, and I think just basic overview how to draw properly might be interesting for you. So if you want to see more of those videos, just shoot me a message right in the comments. You know how to reach me. And now let's get back to the topic of this video. What is color value and what is color hue? Color value is the actual lightness or darkness of a certain area of your painting. You can imagine it as when you're seeing at a black and white photograph. Although it has no color at all, you can still recognize what is depicted on this photograph, because with the color value, the lightness or the darkness of areas you see, this gives you enough information and enough contrast to actually know what you're looking at. And basically you don't need any color to paint or draw realistically. Everything you need is the color value. In darker areas you have just no light and it is very, very dark and almost black, and of course obviously in the lighter areas where much sunlight or much light goes, you have very, very light colors, and everything in between has also a certain color value. And to learn color value, it is best to draw in black and white, because you are not distracted by any colors. And in this 3 marker challenge, I'm only limited to 3 colors, so I super paying attention to the values to get the thing I'm painting, this Sphinx cat, as realistically or as best looking as I can. It is totally possible to get her even more realistically. This is only a little sketch, so I don't want it to be too realistic. I like to have it a bit more tattoo-like or comic-like. So, and the conclusion is that color value is, from my point of view, most important and even more important than the color hue, which I will explain soon. Most painters don't get the color values right, and the result is that their portraits or their figures are looking flat, because when you don't understand where the light or the dark areas are, you can't get the three-dimensionality of the form right. I will talk about that also later. When the light hits an object in space, for example a face, there are darker areas, there are shadow areas under the nose, the edges of the eye, under the cheekbones, around the face, and those areas are obviously darker. But how dark are they? Are they very dark? Are they black? Are they gray? And these little things, those details, they make your painting look realistically in the end if you get them right. So they are very important. And now I get to the color hue. What is color hue? Color hue is the actual color tone or color shade you have, and they give an additional layer of contrast to your artwork. For example, if you have a portrait of a girl and she wears a red coat, and you would draw this picture with pencils or with oil colors. If you would draw it with a gray pencil, you have no contrast between the coat and the girl. But if you would draw it in color, for example with oil colors, you can get an extra contrast by coloring or by painting her coat in red. So understanding that the color hue gives you extra contrast and can make something popping out or going into the background, you have very powerful knowledge in your hands. Because as an unexperienced painter or artist, or also if you have experienced, it never hurts if you do color studies in advance to your painting, so you know what the actual color will do. Because even if you do a sketch, you only have one color in your sketch. You have maybe gray of your pencil, but as you just learned, color hues give extra contrast to your painting. So it will definitely make a difference if you would paint her coat in red, in yellow or in blue, because they all have a different contrast, and some of them are popping out and some of them are not so much popping out. And another thing also important is the saturation of your color. You can, for example, have a very intense red, but you can also have a very gray red. If you open a Photoshop, for example, and you have the color picker and you choose red, there's a giant area of red shades you can get. You have the color hue, you have the color value, how pastel-like, how light your red is, and then you have the saturation, how gray it is. So this is another thing that is very important in your drawings and your painting, to also get the saturation right. I know this is all very difficult, and it comes with practice. If you know the basics and you try to pay attention to how light and dark an area is and what saturation the color has, is it a little bit intense or is it gray? And this is more important than the actual color. So you can not mix the right color, but if you pay attention to the saturation and the color value, your paintings or drawings will look very good and better. So that is why I'm painting so much colors in my portraits, the colors which don't actually exist in the reference, but they still look right, because I pay attention to the saturation and to the color values. So I hope this was not too much for you and it didn't overwhelm you. As I said, those are really only rough explanations of these topics, and I will promise you I can make more easy videos for you about those topics. And this is only part 1 of the 3 marker challenge video. The A second part is available for my $5 patrons on my Patreon site. And if you are coming from Patreon, thank you so much for your support. Every little bit is helpful and makes me happy. If you are pledging the $1 reward, you have to upgrade your pledge to see the second part of the video. If you are $5 or above, just go ahead and continue watching, and I wish you a lot of fun, because in the second part of this video I will share with you my 4 secret tips to get your drawings right. These are another 10 or 15 minutes, and this is exclusive Patreon video material, and you get an exclusive painting or drawing tutorial every week on my Patreon page for $5 a month, and I hope I see you there. I hope this video was a little bit helpful, and as always, I'm always happy about comments and likes and subscribe, you know, the usual things. Bye bye!